Okay, so what I'm going to do today is white beans and a delicious rice. So the first thing that I want to start with is my beans because they will take longer. So today I'm making white beans because the last video I did, and I hope you saw it as well, but the last video I did, we were talking about the white beans a little bit, and I said I was going to make them, so now we're going to make them. So I'm going to add 3 cups of white beans. And this is going to last me, like 4 days, let's just say. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rinse it and add some water. So I have water here all the way to the top of the potatoes, just so they're submerged. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get a blender. And you can cut this as well, but I want to show you a fast recipe that you can make. And hopefully this blender works with me because I just broke it. It fell and it broke and I just taped it back together. And I just hope it can just survive. I'm going to add some garlic, about 1/2 tablespoon. You add some spices, a little coriander, a little cumin, seeds, a little pepper, a little oregano, a little bit. A lot can go a long way. And a little margarine. Then we blend this. Okay, we pour it into here. Add a little water. Now I'm going to tip it over like this because remember I broke it. And I just taped it together. The liquid's going to come out anyways. So you don't have to do that. Pour it in there. Garden veggie, low sodium, just like a veggie bouillon cube. It does have some type of fat in it, but it's not that many that it's not going to do. It's not going to make too much of a difference. So I'm okay with using this type of seasoning as long as it doesn't make a huge difference, and I don't really use it often. Only on special occasions or special recipes. This is a special occasion because I'm cooking for you. So I want to make sure it tastes really delicious for you. I'm also going to add some chipotle. These beans are going to be so flavorful. And last thing is 1/8 of a teaspoon of white pepper. This will give it a different dimension, different flavor. I'm going to add some salt. This is optional. If you don't want to add any salt, you don't have to. It doesn't have to be your ingredient of choice. You can also use potassium salt, which is healthier. I just can't seem to find that thing. So with a wooden spoon, I'm going to just gently toss it a bit so everything can get evenly distributed around. Be cooked. And see, that recipe was super easy. Didn't take any time. The only thing that's going to take time is to just let it sit here, which no one has an issue. So I'm going to use a pressure cook, okay? Technically I only use pressure cooker, but I could do rice here. I could do all kinds of stuff here, which I love, and I think you should get it, especially if you own an Amazon account. So I'm going to just get that going and leave it there. And I want it to go for an hour because I like my beans very soft. I'll do 59 minutes. What I did was I measured out 2 cups of rice. I added some water, soaked it for about 2 to 5 minutes. Then I drained the water, and then I added fresh water, and now I'm here. Okay? So that's what I do with my rice. I'm going to add some veggie mix because it's going to give it some flavor. This is how the veggie mix looks like. It looks really nice. It's basically dehydrated sweet potato and like veggies. I'm going to make it a yellow rice today, but I will change it up soon. I'm going to add some yellow seasoning. If you don't have yellow seasoning or you cannot find any, you can use turmeric, paprika. You can add dried onion. You can add garlic powder. You can add cayenne pepper. You can add all these ingredients. Put it together in a bowl, and there you go. But the main ingredient is turmeric. So you could just use turmeric and cumin seeds, and it'd be so delicious. But that's another recipe that I want to show you on another video. So stay tuned. Please subscribe and follow. And yeah. And now we stir. We just want to make sure everything gets fully incorporated. All the rice granules soak up the juices. Next thing I'm going to do is add some white sweet corn. Going to give this a stir because again I want all the vegetables to be fully incorporated. We press power, press the rice that we're cooking. I'm cooking a white rice today, and we close it, and that's it. So there you have it. Super easy recipe. Now all we have to do is wait. I'm going to wait 30 minutes for the rice and then turn off the machine. And then I'm also going to wait 59 minutes for the beans so they can be cooked nice and soft. So I'll see you when the food is ready. So for this recipe, I'm actually going to cook it on the stovetop because this one has different steps that you need to use a skillet for. So first thing I want to do is start with something that's the longest. So I'm going to peel up my potatoes. So the way to do it is to peel from up, down, all around the potato. Make sure you get that clean cut. From there, you just do the bottom. And if you see little imperfections, just peel it off, kind of like this. Okay. And I'm going to do that with all of these potatoes. Okay, so I'm going to turn up the heat. I already have the flame going. It was just on a low. I'm just going to turn up the heat now. I'm going to add my potatoes in. I'm just going to place them evenly. This is about 2 pounds of potatoes. And we're just going to bring up the heat and we're going to sear it slightly while we get our other ingredients ready. I have here yellow pepper, 2 serranos, a cebolla, an onion, and tomatoes, 2 tomatoes. We're going to start by cutting our bell pepper. I'm now thinking that maybe I should add more bell pepper because it's going to give it a good touch. So I'm going to add more bell pepper. I'm going to go into my fridge. I'm just going to cut my bell pepper. So julienne my bell peppers, and then I'm dicing them. Okay. Ooh, it's nice and smooth now. Okay, so right away I'm going to do Serrano. I love adding a little spice to this dish. You can add jalapeno if you can't handle Serranos. Serranos are a little spicy, but to me it just gives it that touch. Peel and cut in a diagonal. cutting down the big onion. Okay, we layer it like that, and now we just cut forward. This is a big giant onion. I'm going to cut the little pieces real quick. That way they don't combine with all that perfect diced onion that's about to come out. Okay. We're going to add the ingredients into the pan where our potatoes were. And we give it a toss. With a wooden spatula is what I recommend. And because we allow the potatoes to sear slightly, they're not stuck as I move them. Now I'm going to do that again. I combine them. And now I'm going to leave it. Don't touch it. I'm going to cut my tomatoes. And I'm going to allow these potatoes to sear a little bit more on the other side. Searing is the ball game here. And if you learn how to sear, you'll add flavor to all your ingredients. And I'm going to need one more thing to remember. That's to open up my tofu. And remove the liquid from it. Because I'm going to need it. All right, we've allowed it to sear slightly. We're going to add our tomatoes now. And those are super juicy, so they're going to add a lot of juiciness. I'm just going to leave them at the top for now. So what I'm going to do next is add some garlic. I like using container garlic. It's just easy. This is minced garlic and just water. I'm going to add my tofu on top. Remember, I haven't moved it yet. I'm just adding everything on top like a layer for now. From there, we're going to add some seasonings because I want to season the tofu. So I'm going to add a yellow seasoning on top of the tofu. We're doing this on top of the tofu. Remember, we haven't tossed anything. I'm adding turmeric, and that's because I want the tofu to be seasoned first with the seasoning so it can get coated. Okay, gonna add some black pepper. I'm gonna add some smoked paprika. I'm gonna add some chipotle powder. This one, add a good amount. And last but not least, some ancho chili powder, which will add some delicious smokiness. We're just going to gently coat the tofu with the seasoning. Okay, kind of as if you're doing a tofu scramble. Okay, from there we'll start to toss things around. Okay, but we don't want to move things too much around because the potatoes have a lot of starch, and with no oil, we're effed. The potatoes will start, and with no oil, the potatoes will start to get stuck to the pan. So we gotta do this slowly but surely. Okay. So There goes our delicious. So there goes our delicious potatoes with our tofu. Now all I'm gonna do for now is close the lid, and I want it to steam while it sears. And we're gonna do that multiple times till the potatoes are cooked. So we have 33 more minutes for this guy. But this guy is ready, and I want to show you how it looks. Look at that. The yellow, beautiful, sun-shining rice. So delicious. Can't wait to serve it up for you. Okay, so I washed my dishes, and I've allowed this to sizzle up. Now let's see how it's doing. A lot of it got stuck at the bottom of the pan. That's not a problem. Okay, so a lot of So look at how it looks. As you can see, the majority of the potatoes are already cooked. They're practically almost cooked, but they're not all the way. And there's a lot of junk in the trunk stuck in the pan. As you can see, this is hard to remove. So what we're going to do is we're going to add some water. This is where we apply the water. So I'm going to add about a cup of water to a side of the pan. And we just need to wait for the water to heat up just enough. And I'm adding water all around. We added about a cup, and that we might need to add 2 more cups so we're able to scrape whatever's at the bottom, because that's a lot of stuff here. That's flavor. It's going to flavor this delicious dish. We're just going to allow it to get heated up. I'm going to add another cup of water. As you can see, there's no more bits. No more bits at the bottom of the pan. That's how you clean out your pan and add some moisture to the food and completely cook a little bit more and allow it to cook more. It looks so yummy. It's super good. All right, the last thing I'm just going to add is some salt. I'm just going to add 1/4 of a teaspoon or maybe just a little bit more. And a little bit more of the adobo seasoning just to add some flavor. And now I'm just going to give it one last toss. What I like to do to my rice is I like to let it sit here with the machine off for about 30 minutes, maybe even less, or maybe even more depending on my schedule. Once I do that, then I remove it from the sides, kind of like a pastry or something like that, like a cake. You go through the sides and you remove it. And then I dump it into a container that is wide. I make sure that it's a container like this. It's nice and wide. That way I can separate my rice. You could also use a sheet tray as well, but sheet trays take a lot of space in our refrigerators that it just, at least for me, it's not possible. It's so delicious. And there you have it, an amazing plate of food. Yummy. And now you can enjoy this delicious plate of food with happiness. Anyways, thank you so much for watching another video, and I will see you guys on the next one.